Hey, what's up guys? It's our second day in Wind River Range and we had a really good sleep. I think we slept for 12 hours after such a long hike yesterday. So today we're going to get on Pingora, what's it called? Is it the Southeast Buttress?
Southeast Buttress.
Southeast Buttress, which is I think one of the 50 classic climbs in North America. And nothing wrong with starting with a classic. So it's around about 4 pitches. There's an optional, I think, 5-6 pitch. Which we've done before, but we're gonna, I think, try to skip that one and get right on the route, and then finish on the K-cracks. And there's 2 K-cracks, and this is the money pitch of the route. So we may do both of them, but we're at least gonna try to do one, and then wrap down. So the trick this morning is gonna be getting across the snow. So that's gonna be interesting. We did not come with alpine gear. So we're gonna have to be smart there, but it doesn't look too bad to get to the shoulder. And then on the route down, I'm gonna try to do a tutorial on multi-pitch rappelling. I hadn't done that video yet, so try to include that as well. The wrap route is a pretty good example of what you'll get on a multi-pitch wrap, which is, you know, kind of like a water chute almost. It's really smooth. But then you'll build anchors at the different rappel stations and set up your rappel. So I'll show you how to do that as we finish up the route. Yeah. Little boulder hopping. Okay, so we pretty much made it past all the snow and entering into like 3rd, 4th class stuff, going up to the shoulder there. And so it wasn't too bad, maybe a couple waist deep post tollings. I count on one hand how many times that happened. Snow was pretty firm. Now going back might be a different story, but anyway, I'll take what I can get right now. A little bit more class 4 to go, or maybe this is low 5. But we're gonna rope up at this point. We got a nice big ledge and an awesome lookout. Check it out. Yeah, that was nice. Clinton on that first official pitch. Still super cool outside. Nice job. Hey, what's up guys? So we are at the last pitch. So K-cracks. Looks super fun. We're gonna do the 5/8 plus version. So just having some lunch, me and Clinton, and checking out the views. Peep it. Oh, man, so sweet. Not a bad lunch spot.
Thank you.
Okay, so the consensus between me and Clinton is definitely go for the K-Crack on the left. Yes. So much more fun.
Way more better.
Yeah, like super cool, like handholds, and then you can use the face imperfections for your feet, kind of smear. Way more fun, I think, and digestible than the one on the right. Of course, if you want the one on the right for a challenge, for sure. But the one on the left is definitely the money one. Okay, so now we're going to start our multi-pitch wrap. So we have our first wrap already set up because we basically just top roped on the first set of rappel anchors for the second K-Crack. And we pre-tied some quads so that we don't have to do any kind of tying while we're on the route. And now we're gonna go set up our first wrap anchor that will then pull the rope through from the top. Okay, so you can see my rappel setup. I have my ATC on a double basketed or a basket with a overhand knot, so it's redundant 120 centimeter sling. And then I have my camp, what's this thing called?
Swing.
Camp swing. That's gonna basically be my tether that I'll clip into different anchors. I'm still on top rope from our last climb, so that'll make it easy for me to get over to those anchors right there. Nice easy scramble over. Okay, let's do it. All right, let's climb up to these anchors. Still on top rope. Clinton's helping me over there. So just a fun little scramble. There's Wolf's Head over there, overhanging tower, Shark's Nose, and way too much snow to get on any of those for us. So, but no worries. Okay, so now that I'm at the anchor, so if I was swinging, I could go ahead and clip in, but that's not necessary. So I'll go ahead and set up my pre-rigged quad. So non-lockers is good. All right. And we are good to go there. And now I can just take 2 of the 4 strands so Clinton can have master point 2. And take my camp swing. Clip into those. Lock. And go ahead and pull myself as tight as I want. And that feels good, feels nice. Sweet, we're ready. All right, now I'm gonna let Clinton come. Okay, so now Clinton's tied in, and I can untie my figure 8 to put it through the rings. And what's really important in multi-pitch rappelling is that you keep the ends in your possession. So we're gonna, I'm gonna get Clinton to pass this through the rings. And then as soon as he does, I'm gonna tie a stopper knot so that there's no chance that thing's gonna go backwards and we lose track of it. Okay. Beautiful stopper knot. All right. And so now Clinton will come off his stuff so that we can pull the rope. Okay, so Clinton has completely untied all the knots on his end. And now we're going to get ready to work together where Clinton will pull slack. And as he pulls slack through the eyes above, I'll pull this rope through the rings. And I like to try to kind of not let it get below me because I like to keep control of the ends. But if you're on a really steep multi-pitch, that's difficult to do, and that's okay. But you can see we're working together as a team. Every foot of slack he pulls, I pull through. If you try to pull it through just on my end with nobody helping you, it's really difficult because the rope makes a Z through the eyes. And rope coming, And I see the halfway point, so that's where we'll stop. And now we're ready to toss our rope down after we can kind of coil them up. So to do a proper toss, I'll go ahead and recoil my end so that the end with the stopper knot is on top, and Clinton's recoiling his end, and then he'll put a stopper knot in the end of his rope. And so now I got my stopper knot in, and I'm going to get ready to throw this, but I got to give it some weight. So I can just do some butterfly coils like this. And you can get quite a few. Okay. And my rope is already set where if I toss this, it should just feed out from the top. So it should make for a good toss. And we'll see how it goes. So hopefully I don't look too uncool tossing this. Rope! Alright, that's pretty successful toss. And we'll toss Clinton's as well. Here, go ahead and bring.
Cool. Ready.
I was gonna, if it gets caught, it'll stop though. There we go. I'm gonna uncoil a little bit. Alright, you ready? Mm-hmm. And then let's toss the next one. Hopefully I look just as cool on this one. Rope! So that's a pretty successful toss right there. Okay, so Clinton and I are getting ready to get rigged in, and the first thing I'll do, because this rope is really heavy now, so I'll grab it with my third hand, and you can just do that with the auto block. And be sure to lock that. And I highly recommend wrapping with a third hand. I think you're asking for trouble if you don't, especially in multi-pitch where you can have a lot of stuff going on. So you can see now how I can take that rope out and have it unweighted, so then I can, and also Clinton can put in our ATCs. So here's a trick. You never want the ATC without either the cable hooked to the carabiner or the ATC with the rope in it. So watch how I do this insertion. I don't unhook the ATC from the carabiner. I put the rope in first. So now, like, this can hold the ATC if I jiggle it around. So now it's so unlikely for me to drop it, and then just quickly unclip and then clip the rope and the cable back. But I've seen a lot of people take their ATC out of their carabiner and then put the rope in, and that's where you're asking to kind of drop it. Okay, so Clinton has hooked in his ATC as well. We're not going to do a J-rig on this one because the wraps are almost a full rope length. Although I think for a 70 there's still some room for error. So I'll go first, and then Clinton will go after me. You can see he's got his third hand ready to go as well. Okay, so here we go. I got everything nice and locked. I've double checked my lockers, and we are ready to start rappelling. It's nice to have a third hand too, because I can put my hand on it and it protects me from rope burn. So I can kind of hold that and feel the rope passing through. You see the ATC's nice and lined up. And you see I got plenty of room on my rope end, so that's good. Ooh, it's an intimidating cliff there. But here's our anchors. And we're gonna have a nice stance too, so that's nice. Not all rappel stances are kind of this nice, so just to kind of have some security, I'll go ahead and click my PAS into one of these guys. While I do my thing. That's good. And I still have my third hand on and my ATC, so this is redundant. quad. See how nice it is when the quad is pre-rigged? Like, I'm not tying anything here. I got 2 master points ready to go. And we are set. So I'll hold my rope and click my PIS into the master point now, and my 2 strands. Lock that. Get this to the appropriate tightness, which is going to be pretty tight. It's locked, and I can actually lower onto it, and that's kind of a good practice, is to kind of unweight yourself onto your PIS. Okay, ran out of batteries on the GoPro, so we switched to the camera. So you can see I unweighted myself off my ATC onto my PIS. This is locked. I got 2 strands, redundancy, and now I'm ready to undo my rappel system and tell Clinton that I am off rappel. So I'm gonna have to do that while the camera's off, and I'll check back in with you in a second. Okay, so you can see that I have pulled the rope through and retied my stopper knot, and I have a little bit of a J right here where there's plenty of slack for Clinton to be able to get down. And you can see here he comes, so we'll be all ready for him when he gets here. And I'm probably gonna have him come on this right side where there's plenty of room on this platform. Okay, so luckily Clinton had an extra GoPro battery, so now I can show you more stuff because I can work hands-free. So now we're just gonna do what we just did on the last pitch before we started rappelling, which is pull the rope. Important to untie the knot in Clinton's end that he's gonna be helping with. And I've already passed through with my stopper knot on this end. All right. Sorry. So you can see I'm coiling my rope on a ledge that's about 10 feet below us, which is fine. And here comes the halfway point. And here comes the rope. All right, nice. If you ever think the rope is going to hit you in the head, don't look up at it so that your helmet can protect you. And now same deal, we'll kind of recoil. So I'm going to recoil kind of by my foot. And try to keep this from going over the edge. Okay, so I've recoiled my rope, and now I'll do my butterflies to make my end heavy before I start to toss it. And I think that's probably heavy enough. So 1, 2, 3, rope! And pretty successful toss. Okay, second toss, rope! And that's pretty much best case scenario for a rope toss. So Clinton and I are going to switch roles this time, so you can see the rappel follower instead of the rappel leader. And so he's going to grab the rope with his third hand, and then we'll get hooked in. You can see how Clinton can completely weight his rappel setup while he's still on tether. And I highly recommend doing this, especially if you're first starting out. This is how most people have accidents, sometimes fatal accidents, is they didn't hook up the rappel right, and they go to weight it, and there's no tether connecting them, and the rope just comes right out. So this is kind of a standard practice for us, that we always test our rappel system while still on tether. So Clinton looks really good, and now he's ready to remove his tether and take off. All right, so Clinton making his way down, looking good, and I'm sure he'll find the rappel anchors down there. Okay, so Clinton's at the bottom, so I've grabbed the rope now with my third hand, so I can pull some rope through and go ahead and hook up my ATC. And I want to do teeth down. so I can get that extra friction. It will work the other way, but it's harder to control because you don't have the friction that the teeth give you. So again, remember our technique. We put the rope in first, and then clip in and lock. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pull this up tight and unweight my tether and weight the rappel system. And I'll pull my ATC or my third hand up as well. And the way that sometimes people get confused on how to pull this tight, the way you pull it tight is you make the rope look like a U. So U, down, and then I can slide my third hand up. Okay, and I'm gonna totally weight this thing. Okay, so my tether is unweighted. Now for me, I like to kind of be double sure as I remove this anchor system. So I go ahead, just cause, I'm not sure if this is a textbook or not, but I go ahead just cause and clip into here as well. Just one of these anchors. I still got my third hand engaged, all that kind of stuff, but I like to kind of just have my PAS in there just in case. Now, here's a little thing that we didn't mention, but it's important to note. You can see that my anchor system is above my rappel. And that's important because, especially on steep rappels, your rappel is weighted when you remove your anchor system. And if your anchor system is below your rappel, it's almost impossible to get those carabiners out when they're weighted below a rappel. You can see right now it's very easy to take them out. And you can see I've always have them clipped to something. Just being very careful not to drop stuff. Put them on my belt. And you can see I never had that anchor system out in the open. There was no way it was going to drop. Okay, so my system is weighted. I'll go ahead and pull it up a little bit more to unweight my tether because my tethers, or my PAS is higher now. Okay, and we can unweight, or we can undo this carabiner, clip it on my belt, and we are ready to go. Okay, so now I'm coming into where Clinton is, and he's got a nice master point set up for us, which will be great, and a nice stance again. They're not all this nice. You might think this is a small ledge, but this is actually quite big for a rappel route. So I can go ahead and clip in. And what Clinton's doing, this is nice, where you can help your partner when they're coming down like that. I can clip in. I still have my third hand and rappel on, so I'll tighten this up. And then I can lower onto it. And I've unweighted, and now I can disassemble. So again, the disassemble, same thing, same concept. Out, clip back into the cable, and now I can take the rope out. Third hand, also an easy disassemble. Take one of the loops out and keep the other loop in and just unwrap. And it's ready to go for the next one. All right, so we're pulling. It's getting repetitive. Stopper knot untied. Rope. Nice.
All right, you want to go first?
Sure.
Since we're in that spot.
Yep.
I'll go ahead and set the.
All right, last one.
Set my thing up there.
So I'll go third hand. Grab the rope for both partners.
A little bit of slack. Thank you.
ATC in the good way. Nice and clean. Look at that. Love it. No chance to drop this thing. Okay, weighted system. Tether off. Oops. My tether back on. And locked. Locked. Good. And this is the last one. And then we got some scramble back down to camp. What a great climb. The rappel route on Pingora is one of the best because you can do a single rope rappel and there is very little chance that you'll get your rope caught because everything's nice and smooth. Sweet. And then the nice unclip, clip, then pull rope. Lock that down. Actually, I'll clip it to my belt and then lock it. Third hand off. Off rappel. And now I can start getting this rope tidied up and we'll head back on that kind of class 3/4 terrain and get back to camp and get some dinner. Yeah. All right, a little bit of grade 4 or class 4 scramble, or at least class 4 exposure. So actually probably class 1. Best way down Pingora, in my opinion, is just straight down that shoulder, and that's the way we came up. And man, we got a nice scenery to do it in. Okay, so man, super successful day on Pingora. We were worried that it was gonna be like snowy, wet, terrible, but it's actually good and has built our confidence to kind of get some of these other routes that aren't totally covered by snow, or at least the approach to them isn't. So probably get on Pingora tomorrow. We're thinking about the 5-7 plus route. What's that called? The northeast face or something like that. I'll tell you tomorrow. But all right, me and Clinton are going to sign out. Clinton's not sharing any of his waffle, but it's all good. I'll get in his pack later. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.